Hey, how's it going? I'm KexNext, and today I'm going to show you how you can create a really nice looking intro using Video Copilot's free Saber plugin. I actually used this while creating NATO Mysterious's intro, which he actually is using on his channel right now. I'm not going to show you how you can create his intro exactly, but I'm pretty positive that after this tutorial, you can figure out how to recreate it pretty easily. So let's jump right in. So I have this composition right here of my initials for KexNext, and it's just sort of like a neon. It's kind of animating on. I have another comp with Twitch, so it gives it that flicker. But there's another way we can do this, and we'll look at that in just a second. So to get started, create a new composition. Make it 1920 by 1080 and hit OK. And now we want to create a new text layer. So right-click down here and select New Text Layer. Once we have that, we can type in our text. So I'm going to do KN for KexNext. I'm using the Death Hector font, which I downloaded from the internet. It did not come preloaded on Mac. I'm not sure if it's on Windows. I don't think it is. I mean, you could definitely check, but if you don't have it, you could totally download it. So I'm just scaling this up and positioning it in the center of the screen, make it a little bit more prominent. That looks pretty good. And now we want to create a new solid. To do this, we can either use the shortcut Command-Y or Control-Y on Windows, or we can right-click down here and select New Solid and hit OK. And here we want to right-click and go down to Video Copilot and select Saber. And we get this really nice looking lightsaber effect with some really good glow fall off. You can kind of see there. Looks really good. So if we want to have this on our text layer, we just gotta twirl down the customized core settings and set the core type to text layer. And where it says text layer, we can set that to KN or whatever your text layer may be. And right away, we can see it pop up with this really nice looking effect. Of course, maybe the glow intensity is a little too bright, so we can turn that down up here. And that looks really good already, actually. Yeah, I like that. I think they actually have a preset up here, and if you go into this, they have a neon preset right here. I think its glow intensity is turned up a little too much. Maybe you could turn up the glow spread on that a bit. Yeah, that looks really good. Another thing you can do to animate it sort of like coming on is keyframe the core size. So maybe move ahead a second in your timeline. Click on the stopwatch for core size. Go back to 0, frame 0, and change this value to 0. And if we play that back, you gotta see what it's doing. It's just animating like the lights coming on. Now to give it sort of like a flickering look like a real light would have, like a broken neon sign or I don't know, like a candle or whatever, you can scroll down the little flicker settings and turn the flicker intensity up. I think I used 25%, and that looked kind of good. And I turned the flicker speed to 12. And if we preview this, just going to zoom in a little bit, and you can kind of see what that's doing. It's just kind of giving it that kind of pulsing, flickering look, which is what we kind of want if we're doing a neon sign. I think it looks really good. Another thing you could do that's completely optional, I think it kind of looks good though, is scroll down the distortion settings and go to the glow distortion and just turn up the distortion amount just a bit, maybe to like 20. Go to the wind speed direction, wind direction, and change this value to like 45 and hit enter. Also maybe turn the wind speed down to like 0.6, and this is just going to make the wind slower and drift to sort of like the top right. And if we play this back, zoom in a bit, you can kind of see what it's doing. It looks like there's like a layer of fog over our effect, which looks really cool. I really like this. You don't have to do fog over yours. I just kind of think it looks good. It looks like it's just like radiating fog off of the beam, which looks really cool. Alright, let's look at another example. So in this example, we have a grungy looking Volkswagen logo that just kind of animates on. And to do that, I just took a Volkswagen logo image. This one right here. It was a fake Volkswagen logo. I don't think it's the actual logo. It's a little different. And I created a new composition, and I made it 1920 by 1080, and I hit OK. And I brought in the Volkswagen logo. And now we want to apply some color correction to this to separate the colors a lot. So maybe like a brightness and contrast. And turn up that contrast a lot. Turn down the brightness. We go to color correction again and use a tint. And put it above the brightness and contrast. Really just make the colors stand out from each other. Yeah, okay. And then after that, I pre-compose the layer by right-clicking and hitting pre-compose. And move all attributes into the new composition and hit OK. And from here, we can go to Layer and hit Auto Trace. If your logo that you've chosen is black with a white background, you want to make sure this little invert box right here is checked. But if your logo is white with a black background, don't click this. Set this channel to luminance and select Apply to New Layer and hit OK. And if we turn off the original pre-comp, we can kind of see what that gave us. And that looks really good. It makes it really look really grungy, and it gives us, this is all made out of masks. So if you hit M on the keyboard, you can see all the masks it's created. I'm actually going to turn on this button to see the masks. Yeah. So we want to delete the masks over here. So we can just find them by clicking on them and finding them right here. And delete that one. We could delete this one. And so now we're just left with the logo. And with this, on top of the auto trace layer, we want to apply the Saber plugin. And from here, maybe shut off these masks because they're kind of annoying. From here, we want to go down to the Customize Core settings and turn Saber to Layer Masks. And oh my gee whiz, that is a lot of light. So we want to turn down the glow intensity. So you can just kind of see the logo. Maybe go to the neon settings again. And turn down the intensity, turn up the spread of the glow. And what I did, I actually turned this to green. Made it look a little... you know what would be a cool use for this? If like you made something like this and then you 3D tracked like an ancient door or whatever, and this is how it opens, like this thing kind of lights up and the door opens. I don't know. Something like that. I feel like it'd be pretty cool. Like an Indiana Jones movie or something. I don't know. Anyways, so now we have this really cool looking logo. And we want it to animate coming on. But we don't want it to animate like our last composition. We want it to animate so that the start position kind of like goes around the logo. So to do that, we can move forward 2 seconds in, select Start Offset, and select the stopwatch. Go to frame 0, and turn this value to 100. And now if we preview this, you can see it's animating on, which is really nice. I may actually set this quality to half so we can see our stuff faster. Yeah, and this looks really nice. But there is one problem. while it's animating, and it just is like full speed animation, and then it just stops at the end. And that's gross. That really makes me cringe. That makes me real sad. So to fix that, we're going to hit U on the keyboard to bring up all the keyframes. We're going to scroll all the way down, because all the masks are keyframed now. And we're going to go to the Saber keyframe, select its 2 keyframes, and press F9. If you're on a Mac and you don't have your function keys set up and they're like volume or whatever, you can right click Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease. But I'm going to go ahead and hit F9. So now if we preview this, it's sort of like the values are, they slow down whenever they get towards the end. That's good, but it's not really what I want. So to fix that, we can select this value, start offset, go and hit the graph editor, and just adjust these handles so it really slows down towards the end. Maybe so it's really fast at the beginning. And we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks really good. Maybe we could actually drag this keyframe out a little more, so it's like at 3 seconds. Go back in. Just need a little bit more. Alright, let's preview that. Alright, that looks really good. I like that a lot. I think you could totally use this for like a ancient door opening to a tomb or whatever you want. I don't know. Be creative and find a use for it. But this was with a logo with, if I go back to like the pre-comp, this logo was not like completely flat. It looked a little 3D. It had a light source on it, had different shading throughout it, which gave it that grungy look. Now, if you're looking for that grungy look, maybe find a logo like that. But if you have a logo just like, let me find one. Yeah, this Instagram logo, which is completely flat, it's just black. You can create something really cool. I think I created something like this. And to do that, I created a new composition, and we're going to make this 1920 by 1080 and hit OK. And drop in this Instagram picture. With this, we can actually apply an invert effect. I'm going to apply that by hitting Control Space and using Video Copilot's FX Console. By the way, really great plugin, you should get it. I use it all the time, but for the tutorial's sake, I'm not going to. Since I can't find the invert plugin right now, and I don't feel like loading up my effects and presets, I can just type it in right here. And hit enter. And so now we have a white logo on a black background, which is exactly what we want. First, we want to pre-comp this. Right-click and hit pre-comp and hit move all attributes and hit OK. Then we want to go to layer, auto trace, and we want to deselect the invert box because we have a white logo on a black background. Make sure apply to new layer is selected and hit OK. And we can actually turn off the pre-comp now. And now we just have this logo. And with this, we can apply the Saber plugin with Video Copilot and Saber. And go to the Customize Core and select Layer Masks. And I don't think I did neon for this one. I actually think I just turned down the intensity. Yeah, and that looks really cool. It's not really too grungy. It looks nice. I just really like it a lot. I think I also went to the core softness and I turned this up a little bit so it wasn't just like completely white. I think I used, let's see what I used. I think I did 1.2. And you can kind of see the difference. So there's just 0, there's 1.2. Really just kind of softens it out. It's like feathers out the lightsaber effect. And then I went to the flicker settings, changed this to like 50%, and left the flicker speed alone. I also changed the color of it to like a bright orange, yellowish orange. and I made it kind of look like a lantern. I also applied a wood texture under it. Oh, and the other thing you want to do, if you're putting this on video or you have a texture under it, you want to make sure you go to the Saber layer and set the mode to either screen or add or whatever you want, but I think I use screen. And this looks awful right now, so I'm going to go to the wood texture and do some color correction. Maybe add a tint effect, turn it down, maybe like 85%. And go to the white, make that a gray value, just kind of drop that. Okay. Go back to the Saber plugin, maybe make it a little bit more orange, a little bit more candle-like. And turn up the intensity a bit, and the spread. Yeah, you can just keep on designing, but I think this looks pretty good. Maybe you could add some text under it, or maybe you can make this like your logo, make this like a commercial or whatever. Looks really good. If we preview this, it just looks sort of like a lantern. Maybe we can actually go to the Saber layer and the flicker and turn this up to like 75%. We'll see that now. And you want it to be wild because it's sort of supposed to look like a candle. So get that kind of like fire looking effect. And I encourage you to play around with the presets that Saber comes with. I know there's some crazy things like heat. It's just like pure fire. And this is fractal fire though, and it doesn't look that fantastic. So I encourage you to go watch Video Copilot's tutorial on their own plugin. And it teaches you how to use like stock elements along with these presets to make it look really nice. But this is how I created NATO Mysterious's logo. Really, I just animated the start offset, and I played around with the distortion settings for the core and the glow distortion. And you can kind of see it's like the fog coming off of the beam, which looks really cool. I also created a new like white solid layer. It was like a sphere, not a sphere. I'm sorry, a circle. And I kind of keyframed the mask to come out. And I think I also put a mask on that layer. It just keeps whatever's inside like the in and M. So looks really cool. I actually kind of like that. Right. Well, thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you go out and create some really neat things. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.